Hello plant friends, I am here today with some information that might save a life, to be honest with you. Today we're going to talk about fungus gnats, and basically when you have plants, fungus gnats are inevitable. They aren't really harmful, they're just really annoying. They're really annoying, and if you leave them unchecked for too long, they will overrun your entire house. This video is a few months in the making. I wanted to take some time to make sure that it really worked, my solution was good and long lasting and everything was great. And so here I'm gonna give you the information. I got rid of my fungus gnats and here's what worked for me. I did this experiment probably, around Christmas, before Christmas, so it's been a few months now. I used two methods of pest control around the same time, and I'm pretty sure one worked better than the other, but for posterity's sake I will mention both. So the first pest control method that I used was beneficial nematodes. So what they are, essentially, they're just tiny little microscopic worms. You get them in an egg, you put them in your water, or they come in beads, and you put them on top of your soil, you water them, and then they come out of their shells and they go into the soil, and then as they emerge, millions of worms, they go and they eat the fungus gnat larvae within your soil. This was good. I definitely did see a reduction in numbers before I used plant control method number 2, which I will talk about shortly. But what I did not like about the beneficial nematodes was that you need to keep your soil moist. Once your soil dries up, the nematodes die, it's game over. For me, with the plants that I was growing, they don't want to stay moist for a long period of time. They will get root rot and die. So for me, I didn't really find that to be the most convenient and beneficial method of pest control, because you have to reapply them, the soil dries out, they die, the upkeep was blah. So then that brought me to searching for some other stuff. What I found was really awesome. Here's what I got. Let's just cut through the crap and get right to it. This right here, this little bag of goodness, this diatomaceous earth here. This is diatomaceous earth, food grade. You can get it on Amazon. That's where I got it from. I think this was 10, 15, 20 bucks. I don't even think so. That's a little bit crazy. 500 grams, but as you can see, it's a large bag. I only used a little bit of it, and I only used it twice. I probably didn't need to use it twice, but I wanted to be sure. So let's talk about the diatomaceous earth and why I loved it and why it worked for me. So what diatomaceous earth is, from my understanding, is it's a very fine dust, but it's made up of finely dusted fossils or something like that. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But anyways, so what happens is when the little tiny bugs, whatever pests you're trying to control, touch this, it slices up their exoskeleton and they essentially dehydrate and die. What I like about this, you just take a little spoonful, you dust the top layer on top of your plant's dirt, on top of the soil. If you have a duster, you can put it on the leaves. And actually, if I would have thought smartly, I should have put it on the leaves when I was doing battling my thrips, because that probably would have bit that problem right in the booty. But I didn't think of that. So anyways, you put it on top of your soil. The main thing that you can't do with this, though, you cannot get it wet. When you get it wet, it will clump together. It will become a big pile of useless, chalky looking garbage. It does dry out again, but I don't think maybe if you separate the clumps, but you got so much dust, just put the more dust on. Just wash it through your soil, put the dust back on. So for this, you're going to want to bottom water. If you get it, like I said, you get it wet, big deal. You apply a little bit more. But basically, I left this on top of my soil for a mixture for a week or two, and fungus gnats are gone. When I tell you I had a bad infestation of fungus gnats, it was bad. They took over the bathroom. They went out to the kitchen. I could look up here. I got LED lights around my room. I could look up at night and they were hanging out in the corners by the LED. They were raving. They were like, You could see them. It was ridiculous. There was a congregation of at least 6 everywhere you looked, flying all over me, all over my desk, all over everywhere. It was a nightmare. And my sticky traps, I had a sticky trap in every single plant that I had, and every single one was covered. Now, I've moved away from most of my soil mixtures. I've got a few plants left in soil, so I'll probably top them up, because while this was 99.9% effective, I'm not going to knock it, it was user error, I believe, on my end, where I could have fully eradicated them. So I probably should have put some dust in my main bag of soil. And after I noticed the majority of them were dead, I got lazy. I haven't put any out. I haven't even been using sticky traps. I literally just a week or two ago put out the last of the sticky traps that I had, because I had 5 or 6 hanging around that I just wasn't using anymore because I don't have fungus gnats. So I put them in a few plants. I think my croton, he's got a few. There's maybe 10 max on that, and that's the most. And it took months for the fungus gnats level to get back to 10 on the sticky trap. So, and that is my error because I wasn't totally thorough in eradicating them. Like I said, I should have did the main soil bag. I got lazy after most of them died because I was happy they just weren't all up in my biz, so I didn't care. So anyways, I just want to keep this video short, sweet, to the point. If you are struggling with fungus gnats, get you some diatomaceous earth. I am telling you, it will knock your socks off. The war game, it's over. The war's done. Send them packing. Get rid of them. You tired of fungus gnats? Get rid of them. Now, the other thing that you can do for fungus gnats, it's not going to get rid of them, but prevention is key. Fungus gnats like to hang out in moist, wet, damp areas. So if you are a chronic overwaterer, that is going to be, you're going to have a situation on your hands. So bottom watering, chill out on the watering, let your shit dry out in between waterings. You should be anyways. And, get you some diatomaceous earth, get you some sticky traps. You got this. Stay strong. Keep battling.